Okay, this is Richard Hobbs at St. Joseph's Nursing Home, Yonkers, New York, 127 South Broadway, room 5509. There's one of these videos is on our other channel, EndYAWSchurch at gmail.com, and this one is on this channel, pour4trump at gmail.com, and this is my name, Richard Hobbs. These are some of the medicines I've been given in the mornings when I'm supposed to be given one set of my medicines. I'm supposed to get 7 or 8 if you include this psychiatric pill they want to give me, psychotic drug. But there's the one day I got 5, one day I got 4, one day I got 3, one day I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not because there was different. I was supposed to get different ones. I was supposed to get the same ones every morning, but that's what I was getting. And this, in addition to the fact that they were giving me medicines, these medicines, they weren't helping me. When I reported my side effects, no one responded. No one helped. If they did come at all, they came in a way that didn't produce any change, except for the fact, and also I didn't get tapes of them. I wasn't taping this then foolishly, but I was given a medicine that wasn't prescribed to me by a nurse. I told her, that's not mine. She says, oh, yes, it is in your book. So I didn't take it. I said to her, let's go, come on, let's go look at your book again. And then after she did, then oh, I'm sorry, she took the medicine back. But I want to tell you 3 things. I want to know if it's in my chart. Is it in my chart that she offered me a medicine that didn't belong to me? I want to know, is it in the records? Is it in the records of this hospital when they give the patient the wrong medicine? I know they can do it because they tried to do it with me. So what's going on? And then there's other videos. There's lots of documentation. And now you can do one or 2 things. You can wait around till you end up in a nursing home, which you will, and then you can have this happen to you. Or you can, instead of thinking I'm nuts or that I'm crazy or that I'm stupid or whatever you think, you can say, oh, wow. And I'll tell you, I'm poor. I'm poorer now than I've ever been in my life, but I've been poor. I've had years when I made $400 for the annual income. And yet all those years I helped homeless people, I helped poor people, and Jesus helped me and I helped others. And we did well. And this is, we're trying to do something that's a little hard to do, but we're going to try. And if you join us, we're going to do it together, and we're going to accomplish something that has been a long time since it could be accomplished. And that is, what we're going to accomplish is that we're going to change so that instead of a few persons and wealthy persons being in charge and telling us all what to do and how to do it, we're going to have it that we, the people, the individual people, especially the poor, are going to have good representation and fair representation, and that we're going to, instead of having the government operate so that a few people on the Democrat side and half the Republicans get in the government to make themselves wealthy, and a bunch of other persons run the news media, and they're doing that to make themselves wealthy, on both sides. They're not doing it for you or me. They're doing it for themselves. And it's insidious. It's so insidious, and we're so stupid we don't pay any attention to it, and we're just being fooled. We're being fooled. And here's what we're going to do. Find others who want to do this. Start meeting in small groups in our living rooms or churches. We need to, each of us, register as Republicans, especially poor black persons and poor white persons. The Democrats think they have our votes. Let us show them differently. Weekly or every 2 weeks, meet together and come to agreements about what we think is important, what kind of government we want, and what persons we want representing us. Then each small group can send a representative to a larger regional group and share all our local groups' ideas and find ones we have in common. Then we can tell the Republican Party what we think. Then we can help select the candidates and the platforms of our party. Go and vote. Use absentee ballots. This is how a democracy works. It's not just about voting, but it's about being involved in the process. We poor have no money, but we can be responsible for how we use our time, and we can spend time to help our government, which is helping all the people who are giving money to it and giving their lives to it. We do not need money. We don't need money or your money. We need you to care for our nation and city and to help save it. Get others to join. Copyright 2016 poorfortrump@gmail.com, all rights reserved. You are given our permission to copy this if you copy all of it and give credit to poorfortrump@gmail.com. This is 11 by 17 page. Cost me about 25 cents. Please copy it and share it with others. If you send us an email at poorfortrump@gmail.com, you'll get this 4-page typewritten letter. You'll get it as an auto reply. And look, God has given us something, and the devil wants to destroy it, and Jesus has given us something. We have the ability now to really, really do a lot without spending a lot of money. And so we don't need a lot of money. But what we need to do is have a lot of persons agree. And you know, the government is wrong. The Democrats are wrong and the Republicans are wrong. The Democrats are wrong to have 51% of the votes and tell the other 49% of the people what they're going to have to do, because they're going to make it a law, and you don't do it, you'll go to jail. Just like the IRS, just like all the things that were created under the New Deal, under FDR, which were all forms of dictatorship of the Democratic Party on the people of the United States, which they were on. They've been the dictators here since we started this country. Before that, the Democratic Party has always existed. It created slavery. It forced slavery to exist in the United States when others, even maybe a majority, didn't want it. And the idea was, well, let them come in, because if they're in, then eventually we can end slavery. We can force them to end slavery instead of saying, well, it's okay, let it go. By that time, 1776, the whole European world had ended any kind of legal slavery. It was over, except in the United States, the European Judeo-Christian world. There was slavery in Europe, and the first patriots, people came here, the pilgrims, the very first persons who came here came because they thought slavery was immoral, and they didn't want to live in a land where the people ruling the land were immoral. And if you're the leaders and you do something immoral, then you're immoral. Oh, no, that's not true, because we all do things that are immoral. But if you're using immoral things to fund your government and to fund your life, and you're saying that they're legal and they're good, that's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. And you don't understand history. You just learned what they taught you in school, and the whole education system in this country was created and developed by this Democratic Party to propagandize you, to indoctrinate you, to make you do what you're doing, which is going around like a dummy, a slave, without freedom. And all joining together and hating whatever the news media tells you to hate. And those people in the news media make 10 times what you make for a salary. They have a whole different idea what they want to do. They want you and everyone to be able to smoke pot. And they want you and everybody to be able to kill your baby while it's inside the mother's womb. That's what they want to do. That's their agenda. It is their agenda. I knew some of the persons who brought abortion to the United States, and I can tell you all about it. They were Americans, and they said, we want abortions, and this is how we're going to change politics and change the nature of this nation so there is abortion. And it goes on and on and on and on. But it's time for us to stop being foolish. It's time for us to start doing what's right to help not just ourselves, but the other persons who are suffering because of problems that the government allows. And just because something's legal doesn't make it moral. And just because something's moral doesn't mean you have to have a law. You can't legislate morality. You have to learn it and love it and want it and do what is right. Thank you. This is Richard Hobbs, poorfortrump@gmail.com. We love you. Join us.